I'm letting my hands take the shape of this area. You can start from the center of the shoulder and just glide to the outer edge. I'm taking a thumb in front and the hand in back, and going nice and slowly. You can do it with your thumb out, if you're careful, or just do your flat hand like that. Starting next to the neck and out, and going nice and slowly. How about if I just do circles like this with my fingertips? And then full hand circles.
So always like before, if we're coming to a new part of the body, you know, it's not a completely new person, but it's a new place. So you always want to come in and let your contact just be gentle. First to touch and to say hello to each other before you start moving around. So I'm just letting my hands soften and become the shape of her back. And now, because it's the back, look how beautiful and long it is, I want to do some kind of stroke that takes me all the way down there.
You can access the back in so many different positions. You can glide from the top to the bottom. You can just right over the cloth or on the skin. If you're on the skin, I would use some cream. You can glide from top to bottom. That looks easy, but is it?
Yeah, this is fine.
That's
As a matter of fact, this
easy.
is better than standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is much easier for me. How do you feel?
Feels right.
Huh?
Feels all right.
Feels all right. He never says anything feels good.
All right is good then. Maybe that's all right is the new good.
Oh, okay.
So you'll notice as Betty's hands go down the back, they kind of take the shape of his back. They go nice and slow. So everything's in full contact. And when they come back up the back, same thing happens. And when you get to the top, fingers can curl over the shoulders.
I think people are surprised often to find out how incredibly relaxing it can be to the whole system to receive just a hand massage, just a very simple hand massage. To me, it's a total treasure because in a few minutes, you can relax the whole person, and you can do it anywhere. You can do it in the evening while you're watching TV. You can do it at a hospital while you're sitting in a waiting room. Absolutely anywhere. The very first thing is you center.
Acuérdame, mi anillo.
La primera cosa es encontrar el centro.
You come into yourself and you remember who you are and why you want to touch this person, what you want to offer. And it only takes a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you have your own.
So stretch and bend. Got my hands like this, with his palm between, like that. Get a good grip and pull to the side. Stretch and bend, and you can also take that stretch and bend it and kind of make his palm into a little U shape like that. Little rainbow. I'm just widening the palms. I clamp and then pull. Get a good grip and pull to the side. And take that whole hand in your hands and kind of stretch it, make it wide, exactly like that. My thumbs are kind of sweeping across the back of her hand here. That's great. We call it stretch and bend. Sounded good. You can also sort of bend it a little bit, like this. This is a hand sandwich too. Get a good grip, you can squeeze it as you go. Kind of make a little finger sandwich, if you will, like this. And spread it. You're kind of making it wider.
You can actually, yeah, you can actually even sort of, yeah, really spread it like
You
into
can
the
really
middle,
get a
like
grip,
almost like
and
you're
once you've got
dividing
it,
the
spread.
fingers, kind of.
Palm sweeps and circles. So one sweep and the other sweep. And take those same thumbs you were working with and do sweeps across the palm in little arcs going in all directions. Isn't it easier with cream sometimes? They really slide. That looks great. And you're getting it, you know, these are our gripping muscles here, so what you're doing is massaging those gripping muscles. Palm sweeps, and you can make little circles too with your thumbs, right in the pads. You can also stretch out the palm by inserting your pinkies here and kind of stretching the palm and then doing the sweeps. And then circles, going in with my thumb. You can put the circle anywhere you want. What can be easy on your own hands is to take your knuckles instead, cupping like this, knuckle on top, and go in with the knuckles a little and twist them around.
I like that.
Yeah, that goes deep without working. And I'm just doing a twisting move and kind of like this with my hand knuckles. And then finally, having attended fully to the palms and the back of the hands, you can take the fingers and kind of treat each one with a little tracing the whole thing from all down to the fingertip. It's nice not, if you don't just pull like this, you know, people get uncomfortable, it kind of pulls the fluid into their fingertips, but just, I'm going like this. And I'm rotating it all sides of the knuckle of the finger, and I'm traveling the length of the finger. You know, as though I were painting a column or something, and I wanted to get all four sides evenly painted. And I've spent a lot of time on her pinky demonstrating this, so I think it's a good idea to move to the others too. It can actually feel kind of good to squeeze at the fingertips. It's a place we don't get massaged very much. Isn't that funny?
My whole arm just feels just very relaxed. It just, I mean, it started with the fingers. I can feel obviously the most intense feeling in my fingers, but having worked on my palms and the back of my hand, that's relaxed, but it's almost like it's just traveling all the way up to my shoulder.
Hand massage can relax the whole body sometimes.
That's much.
I just started pulling just gently, stroking from the wrist. What's that?
I really like that.
She really likes that. So just making a nice curve to support the wrist in and drawing all the way out to the thumb and the pinky. Yeah. So pulling first the wrist and then whatever finger drops into your hands.
And I'm just sweeping through there. Little pressure, little circles. Yeah? All right. I think we're ready for the feet. What do you think?
¿Está listo para hacer los pies?
Ya, sí.
Okay, so don't just leave in a hurry. You gotta gently put her hand back before you would leave.
Que cuando termine no se vaya simplemente a dejar el masaje y irse rápido. Termine con
El paso.
el paso y cuando ya está listo, entonces coge y pone la mano encima de su
I'm
estómago.
going to give you this back. Okay? I think it's incredibly fun to massage feet, actually, and almost everybody I know loves to receive a foot massage. The feet, interestingly, are both very strong on the one hand. They carry us around all day. They hold our weight all day long. And they're also very sensitive. There are many, many nerves in the feet. And so it turns out that if you give someone a sweet little foot massage, you may ease pain in some other part of the body, and for sure, you're going to relax them. Now you're going to do the same kind of spreading that we did on the hands. Okay, foot spread. So that means the same thing with my hands going like this. So the pressure, you have your fingers under the sole, this side of the heel, yeah? And now we're going to bring the fingers out and the hands around, just like that. And now what you're going to do is maybe more cream and then all the way down.
Yo le digo que en el medio, que tiene que darle del centro hacia afuera.
Saying that he started with the toes and what he needed to do was start from the middle first and work outwards.
And turning over, it may be that the
And
best
go down and do it.
is to
Down.
lie with this right up at the collarbone line. Just like this so the head can drop. I want to try that.
And if your thumbs get tired, then you turn your hands upside down and you do like this. So the hand is going like this.
Y si,
Yeah.
si
Yeah.
las manos se cansan, entonces lo hace.
So your fingers underneath and no pressure here.
No,
Just pressure here. Yeah. Up. Elbow up. Up. Yeah. Perfect.
Let's try this. And that should be that
And
square.
very gentle on the top. Yeah.
Que suave por encima.
So it's good to practice, but the foot can get tired.
I
So
know.
that may be enough.
Yeah.
Scooch up a little bit up on the table.
Que es bueno practicar, pero también el pie de ella se puede cansar.
Sí.
Let's pull the chair around here and park. So it's right there. There's no work to get at it. The nice thing about having it uncovered with cream is it's a little easier on your hands, but you can perfectly easily massage through clothing. We'll do the foot spread. You can grab it from any angle. Yep, you've got the angle on it. I'm going to do it from this angle. That's the foot spread, and there's not very much about it that's fancy. I'm just using a grasping. My fingers meet in the middle, okay, and I squeeze and pull apart. Kind of like I'm trying to make the foot from a C to a quadruple E. You can add to it by making it sort of changing her foot shape into a U, kind of making an arch in there. So you would kind of dig your thumbs under right there and let it drape around you. Yep. Then we can do a knuckle gliding on the sole. Take your knuckles, start right below the ball of the foot, and head all the way to just before the heel. That's great. You might try this up on her arch. Put this hand way up on her arch to baby that. Yeah, that's it. Just hold that like a cup there, and that's the counter pressure. Lovely.
She's asking her which way feels more comfortable.
ta điểm vào bàn tay.
Good. So here's knuckles on the sole. You can do it in this position. And notice my hand doing counter pressure, or this position. And you can come back with the knuckles, or you can come back with a flat hand. Up with the knuckles, back with the flat hand. Up with the knuckles, back with the flat hand. And you can do sole circles with either the knuckles or fingertips. Toe squeezes. You can squeeze at the nail and it feels good. That's all okay, Gwen?
Okay. They're all very good.
Good. And then circles around the ankle. There's that ankle bone there, top of the heel. You can do little circles like this, a big circle that sweeps around, little circles like this. Circles around the ankle, or little circles. I'm doing them around both.
我覺得最大嘅特點、最好嘅特點呢，就係我將我嘅意願同埋信息，我係通過呢個手傳達俾佢。我話最好呢個，最大嘅特色啊！
The most unique thing that I can feel through this exercise or through this workshop is that I can pass my love and pass my wish, good wish, through my hands by doing this massage to the person I love.
There are 3 acupressure points that we want to show to you. One of which is to alleviate anxiety, one of which is to alleviate pain, and one of which is to alleviate nausea. I want to say, first of all, that so much of what we've shown you is going to help someone relax, thereby alleviating both pain and anxiety. So you may choose to use these, you may choose to use anything else you've seen today for a quieting, easeful moment. So for anxiety, it's easiest to find it if you angle your wrist toward your pinky direction and you head into that crease just above the wrist bone, and then you angle. And if you go in there, you will find a little spot that like a cave, almost, that your finger can just go into. Yeah. You're going to angle to the side, toward your pinky, and you find the wrist bone. Yeah. You come just above it into that crease that gets created. And actually, if you go back and forth like this, you can find where the little hole is to go into. You apply some steady pressure, and the application is with your finger. It's also with your mind, and the key is that all your attention is here. It's now just in this spot, and you know that there's a little extension from the tip of your finger that is your well-wishing, your good wishes entering. And you do hold it for a moment. It's not instantaneous. And when you release the point, it's like any time that you're taking your hands off the person you've been working with, it's not sudden, it's gentle. So I'm releasing now. I'm decreasing the pressure, and then I'm away from the point. Okay, point number 2 is going to be for pain. So this point is actually in the midpoint of this metacarpal, and that is going to land you in the web between your thumb and your first finger, but slightly closer to the bone and pretty well back in the web. And you can do this with your thumb, or you can do it with a finger.
Or clamp it.
And it's not as obvious a little welcoming cave as you find with the anxiety point, but you will, if you feel around a little bit, you will have a sense of a sweet spot. You can use as guidance the halfway point in the bone. And you just hold it for a little while. Final point is for nausea. So the way to find this is bend your hand toward you, bend your wrist so that you now are looking at the crease that gets created that way. That's your starting point. Where you want to land is about 2.5 finger widths down, but it's not your finger width unless you're working on yourself. If you're working on the other person, it's that person's finger widths. So you got to take a look at their hand to figure out roughly where you should start your hunt, your search for the point. It's between the two tendons.
Yeah, you'll feel a dip between those. There's a big ditch between the tendons, and you're right in the middle.
And it's the same thing, a gentle, steady pressure.
I think in closing we want to say, to encourage all of you caregivers to be compassionate with yourselves, to have loving kindness for yourself so that you don't leave here with a whole bag of expectations or demands on yourself for performance. We'd like you to remember that you've been exposed to many different techniques today, but that doesn't mean that you have to use them all at the same time in one session. You might just take 5 minutes to do foot massage some night. Or another day you might just take a few minutes to do the neck and shoulders or just the face. So you can use pieces of this that you're comfortable with whenever you feel motivated to do that. So why don't we just take a couple minutes to just say a few words about what you discovered today that was most meaningful for you.
Today I learned that through massage and techniques, I can help ease her pain, if not a lot, slightly. It makes me feel confident in myself knowing that there's something I'm able to do to help her out, and I really appreciate that.
我好高興參加到呢一次嘅。
I'm so glad I can attend this workshop today. I have learned how to improve my wife's health and how to pass my loving message or my good wishes through my hand.
This was a great experience for me, especially just coming from the hospital with pain. So this was a great experience, and I thank you, and I thank all of you.
I do appreciate having been exposed to this therapy, which I never thought anything about massage. I never knew anything about massage, but I think it's going to help me to relate more to my husband's pain, because I wasn't one to be standing around when he's in pain, and if I can sort of through this massage be part of sharing some way that he feels better when he's in pain, as opposed to just not being able to deal with it.
咁又可以收到個效果咧，我真係好感恩啊！我覺得。
But through today's massage, that I could see that he was more relaxed by doing that. So